Stay tuned for Suzy Empire Reality TV. Thank you.
Republicans are trying to bastardize the term DEI to be a slur. When Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was up for confirmation and when Vice President Harris was added to the ticket, they called them DEI hires. They want you to believe that a Harvard graduate with over 20 years of experience, who happens to be a black woman, is not qualified, but a Fox News personality is qualified to run the Department of Defense, and the WWE executive is qualified to run the Department of Education. Let's be real. There is an attempt to create a direct correlation between our race, being a black person, and our qualifications. So much as to say that there is no way to be a black woman. There is no resume that a black person could have that would qualify them unless that black person is a Republican. And there is a quota there.
And so when Donald Trump starts posting things like this, you should recognize that it's coded language, or not all that coded. Donald Trump goes, "The Democrats are trying to stack the courts with radical left judges on their way out the door. Republican senators need to show up and hold the line. No more judges confirmed before Inauguration Day." One of the things he's trying to say there is no more black judges being appointed. Let's be very clear about that. And just to remind you of the type of language that the MAGAs would use and what was going on Fox when now one of their hosts on the weekend show, the guy couldn't even make it to the weekday show, is appointed Secretary of Defense. This is what Tucker Carlson had to say about Ketanji Brown Jackson. Let's play the clip.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Let's say you really didn't care about the country you lead. Let's say you wanted to humiliate and degrade it and undermine its ancient institutions. What would you do? Well, you might take the single most important appointed position in the entire government and announce in public that you were filling that position on the basis of appearance, not on the basis of skill or wisdom or fealty to the founding documents of the United States, but on the basis of the way the person looks. So it's not a question of saying, we found the most qualified person who happens to look this way. What you're saying is, we found a person who looks this way, who, by the way, may be qualified. That would send a very clear message that you don't like the country you run, and you don't care about the institutions that its ancestors built. And Joe Biden is doing that. We'll have details straight ahead.
And here is what President Biden said, I think, about the importance of historical black colleges and universities, HBCUs, how important they are to the progress of America, including leading to the historic appointments of black judges on the bench and the first female vice president. Play this clip. By the way, this is from May 17th of 2024. Play this clip.
But regardless of loyalties, it's clear HBCUs are vital to our nation's progress. I mean it. That's not hyperbole. HBCUs are responsible for 40% of black engineers in America, 50% of black teachers, 70% of all black doctors and dentists, 80% of all black judges. And by the way, I put more on the bench than anybody ever has. And 100% of black vice presidents.
And finally, if I may show you this, I think it's important, because I want to show you the video that President Biden had prepared about a month before Ketanji Brown Jackson, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, was eventually confirmed by the Senate, just to show you her background and why President Biden explains how he sought a nominee for the Supreme Court with exceptional credentials, unimpeachable character, and an unwavering dedication to the rule of law. This is how he rolled out the announcement of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who became Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson of the Supreme Court. Play this clip.
It's my honor to introduce to the country a daughter of former public school teachers, a proven consensus builder, an accomplished lawyer, a distinguished jurist, my nominee for the United States Supreme Court, Judge Ketanji Jackson.
I am Ketanji Brown Jackson. I have just had the honor of being nominated to sit on the United States Supreme Court. I started thinking about the law when I was really young. My father went back to law school when I was a kid. We lived on the campus of the University of Miami, and my dad would sit there with all of his big, thick legal books, and I would bring my coloring books, and I would sit next to him and watch him study and pretend as though I was doing work as well. I had not really seen a lot of colleges except that I did speech and debate, and Harvard has a tournament. And I went several years in a row and competed in that tournament and thought, I like this campus, maybe I'll apply. I had the good fortune of working for a Supreme Court justice as a law clerk. Justice Breyer was an incredible boss and mentor. As a clerk, you help the judge or the justice that you're working with to draft their opinions and to make sure that their thoughts are put down carefully in the law. And so it was just an enormous opportunity to get to see how the justice system really works at the highest level. I have spent my life admiring lawyers and judges from all backgrounds, but especially those who are African Americans like me, who have worked very hard to get to where they are. I have been inspired by Judge Constance Baker Motley, who was the first Black woman ever to be appointed to the federal bench. She was a civil rights lawyer before she became a judge. It meant a lot to me in my career to have her as an inspiration, and I would hope to be an inspiration to other young people, lawyers who may want to enter this career and who may want to go into the judicial branch. I have had the great good fortune of actually having been nominated to 3 prior positions that require Senate confirmation. I was nominated by President Obama to the United States Sentencing Commission, nominated by President Obama as well to sit on the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. Then I was nominated by President Biden to sit on the Court of Appeals. And now President Biden has given me the honor of nominating me to the United States Supreme Court.